Hi there, Laura here from Get Organized HQ, bringing you this year's clutter-free gift guide. So we probably all have people that we want to give gifts to, and ideally we want to give gifts that are useful and don't cause clutter for the person. Now, I'm going to give you several ideas, but before I do that, I just want to point out that if someone has given you a gift that you don't need, you should not feel bad about decluttering it. I know a lot of times we attach a lot of sentimental value, even to something somebody gave us 5-10 years ago. It truly is the act of giving that is important. It's the thought that counts, as they say. So I don't want this to cause any guilt if you do need to let go of something that someone has given you. And also, I don't want this to cause any guilt if you have or will give a gift that someone does declutter. Again, it truly is the thought that matters. So let's not get too caught up in if it does happen, that's okay. But ideally, when we're choosing a gift, we want to choose one that the recipient is going to get a lot of joy or use out of. So how do we do that? The first thing, and this may sound rather obvious, but it's something I wasn't doing until recently. When you are around the person, anytime during the year, have a system for taking notes for the things that they like or want. So it can be with like a printable in your home management binder or just a note on your phone. You can have a note on your notes app that anytime you're with someone, just be on the lookout. This is especially true if it's someone you go shopping with and they're like, oh, don't you love that? Or if you're chit-chatting with them and they talk about, like, I saw this cool ad, I was kind of thinking about this. That is gold for buying them gifts that they really want. But you have to be on the lookout and pay attention. I can't tell you how many times somebody has said something like that in front of me, and then weeks or months later, I go to get them a gift and I'm like, I cannot remember what it is they wanted. So try to keep a running list of all the people in your life that you're close to. And that way, when it comes time to buy a gift, you can get them something that is already on their wish list. When it comes to gifts that don't cause clutter, the number one thing you can give people are experiences. These will come with nothing physical attached to them. So this could be like a ticket to a play or a movie, or a pass to like a museum or a zoo, or something that you go to, a vacation. You could give them a gift card to like a restaurant. You could offer to babysit someone's kids while they go on a getaway or something like that. One example of this is my mom gave my daughter, who was turning 8, so her granddaughter, a trip to a flower farm. This wasn't even like an all-day thing. It wasn't an out-of-town thing. It didn't cost a whole ton of money, but you go to this farm and you can walk around. It's beautiful. You can pick your own flowers and make a little bouquet. And my daughter absolutely loved that. And it was a memorable experience for her, and there was literally no clutter. And kind of along with the experiences, you can also gift people services, like literally do things for them. You can either do this yourself or hire another service. So you might, for example, hire a cleaning service. Now, I would be careful with this. Don't just gift anyone something like that. It could send the wrong message, kind of like giving someone a vacuum cleaner. But if you know them really well or something like that, you could do that. You could offer your own services. And you've seen those little coupon books. Like a lot of times parents will, or kids will give their parents, a coupon book of little services that they'll do for them. I also like the idea of cleaning someone's car. Sometimes it's kind of invasive to like go into their house and clean for them depending on the situation, but you could easily, take their car through a car wash or even gift them a book of car washes or something like that. So that's a very practical gift that they can use that will cause no clutter. Now, as we move on up the scale, consumables are a great idea. So things that people use up. And there are also a lot of these that come in subscriptions, like a monthly subscription. Usually you can get like a 1, 3, 6 year long subscription. And this just brings a little joy to someone's life on a regular basis, and I love these. So some ideas for this are a flower subscription. I have gifted that to someone. I've also gifted a candle subscription. So if people like those scented candles, and it's really fun to be like, what's the scent gonna be this month? And you actually burn those and use them up, and so then you'll need another one, so it's not going to create clutter. And of course, there are loads of food subscriptions of all different types. Of course, there's the classic fruit basket, but beyond that, there are chocolate subscriptions, cookie subscriptions. I even found a cookie dough subscription where they literally mail you edible cookie dough. I haven't tried it myself, but it looks really fun and interesting. I've seen ice cream subscriptions. So, food is always a good idea of something that will get used up. And the subscriptions just make it extra fun. But even if it's not a subscription, just like a one-time gift of something consumable like candles, flowers. Another area of consumable items is like crafty or home decor items for people who are into that. So I'm going to insert a clip here of one of my favorites. It's called Paper Pumpkin from Stampin' Up. Okay, so this is one of my favorite craft subscription boxes. I wanted to show you like the actual process. So it comes in this little tiny box, everything that you need, which I love. And these boxes, like side note, if you don't use them right away, they're very easy to store. They're nicely labeled. And there's different projects. They are always paper and stamps, but a lot of times they're cards. But this is like these little treat boxes. They are the cutest. You just push them through. So for like little Halloween treats. There were 3 designs, 3 of each that you can make. You can also make other things, like be creative. But here's what I love about them. It literally has every single thing you need. This acrylic block or something similar to it comes in your first box. And then that's the only additional thing. It has adhesive like these. This is the pop dots. This is the other type of adhesive. You don't even need scissors. You don't need a paper trimmer. Like everything is where you can punch it out. And these were already, like these are the boxes. And so they're already like folded and scored, and they're actually really easy to put together. Comes with little instructions, or you can watch a little instruction video. And then all of them come with like a set of stamps. You'll see we've used some of them already. You just clean them off. You can reuse them for other projects. And then they all come with this little bitty ink. And again, you could use that for other projects as well. This was the adhesive that we needed to actually keep the box lids closed. But I just think these are the cutest, and I just can't say enough about how much I love how it literally has everything you need. So even if you don't have a lot of other craft supplies, this is one of like the most self-contained, easiest. I think it's under $25 a month, so pretty affordable. And you get to make a lot of things. My kids, like this is my daughter's, my son made these, so it's totally pretty doable for kids. My kids are 6 and 8. They need a little bit of help with assembling the boxes, but not too much. Another one that's along the vein of Paper Pumpkin is Chalk Couture's Couture Club. They give you everything you need. You get what they call a transfer and 3 paste colors every month, and you can also add on like surfaces, like the little chalkboards and a squeegee, so that you'll actually use those up as you go. And you can reuse the transfers, but they're literally about the size of a piece of paper, so they don't take up a lot of storage space or cause a lot of clutter. If you're looking at buying things for kids, Kiwi Crate is one that I have used and loved, and you get to build your own something related to learning and crafting. Those are super fun. My kids have always loved those, and I will tell you what I love about Kiwi Crate is they really do include everything you need, so you're not going to be like running to the store or needing some extra supplies, and they really work. They work really well. The one caveat I will say, I don't know if every kid is like my kids, they don't like to let those little things go after they make them, so the finished product could create a little clutter, but it's still far less than just giving them a thing. Another area of gift that doesn't cause clutter are digital items. So something like gifting someone an online course or a membership or something that they can print, or something like a subscription to Audible. I love Audible, where you can download audiobooks. You could give them a premium music subscription if you know that they like that. So there's all sorts of things in the digital realm that don't cause clutter. I also really enjoy Kindle Unlimited. So if they have a Kindle, or another great gift would be, if you're wanting to spend a little bit more, to purchase them an actual Kindle reader along with like a year subscription to Kindle Unlimited, or credits that they can buy books with those. There's also tons of online courses. So if you know that they really like something, you could buy them an online course that has to do with that topic. There are also a lot of generic sites, like Skillshare is one that is not all that expensive. And I have taken a lot of courses from there, and you can learn just such a broad variety of things. And so that would be another idea of something you could gift that would cause zero clutter. I also really would love to receive, and I know many of you would, things to help me organize. So like organizing bins and baskets, I'll go ahead and make sure that I link to my own top organizing products guide, so you can see what all it is that are my favorites that you might be able to gift someone. Or I have seen some of the most creative gifts I have seen that I thought was such a cool idea is when you actually do some of it for them. So you could have like a home management binder that is like ready to be filled out, for example, or I've seen someone gift at like a baby shower, a like file tote with files pre-labeled for what you might need to store to like organize all the things related to the new baby. So you could even take it a step further by doing some of the work or the thinking for them. But things that help you organize are unlikely to cause clutter. One of my favorite consumable gifts has been shower steamers. So you've all probably heard of bath bombs, those little things that you put in your bath and they get fizzy and they smell good, but not everyone has a bathtub or has time to actually take baths. So an alternative to that I received as a gift not too long ago are what are called shower steamers. So it literally looks about like a bath bomb. It looks like, a little circle, and you place it in your shower and the steam kind of releases that fragrance, and these are amazing. They have all different fragrances, and it's great for someone, like I said, without a bathtub or who doesn't have time for baths. I love using these in my shower, and they're not gonna cause any clutter because they're 100% consumable. Now, once we move on from things that you actually use up or that aren't physical, if I'm going to gift a physical item, I really like things that are practical, that the person can really use. So something like an Instant Pot or a fancy crock pot or servingware. Now, again, I think you want to be careful here. Not everyone loves an Instant Pot. Not everyone wants to try an Instant Pot. But if possible, start a conversation. Ask them, have you heard of this gadget? And kind of get a gauge on whether or not it is something that they would use. But those kind of gifts that are really practical, that you can use on a regular basis, I think are great ideas. Last but not least, for kids, I already mentioned Kiwi Crate. I also love gifting books. Now, I know these are physical, but I think they take up less space than some things, and most people already have a bookshelf and somewhere that they could slip a couple books in. I'll put a link to a couple of me and my family's personal favorite books. I just feel like you cannot have too many books. And so this would be a great idea for kids. Also, for kids, they use up a lot of craft supplies. Like for my kids, markers don't last forever. They dry out. We use them up. Same with crayons or all sorts of consumable crafty items. And another favorite of mine, which I will link to below, are these little sticker books. Oh, these provide so much fun. So my favorite type, these are from Usborne, where you put the stickers in the little scene. They have big sizes and small sizes that are just perfect for tossing in a bag. It provides quiet fun. It's good for the car, airplane, wherever you can use these. And then Amazon has some that are like sticker by number or sticker by letter. So instead of like paint by number, you're literally putting the stickers. They have them for both children and adults. And I do them with the kids, and I think they're really fun. So that's another great gift that doesn't take up a lot of space and is going to get used up. So I hope these have given you some good ideas as far as what kind of gifts you can give. Now, I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. Let us know if you have gift ideas that you're giving people or what some of the best gifts you have received are, and maybe we'll get even more ideas.